Are you ready?
Baby, we done it. We're rich, baby. Conor McGregor made us rich. Break out the red panties. We're rich, baby.
I said, are you ready?
Line to deep left field. It is gone! You should see the celebration out of the Indians' third base dugout. Rajay Davis, a bullet.
And here we go.
For the We Like Sports podcast with the hosts you love, Riggs, Keith, Austin, and Peyton.
And welcome to the We Like Sports podcast. Once again, we are joined by
Riggs, Peyton, and Keith. Our buddy Austin has other duties going on today, so we will see him here next week.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. So we have an action-packed show tonight. Very busy, very entertaining already. Our guests are here. We'll get to them a little bit later on. But if you want personality, if you want, I guess, quote-unquote hype, I think that's what the kids are saying, right? I'm 24 and I'm saying what the kids are saying.
You're 24 and don't know how to barbecue. Sorry, guys.
God, this is already going there.
Well, dude, come on.
I make hockey pucks.
You did make hockey pucks.
Haven't you seen The Miracle on Ice? That's what I was trying to recreate.
You would have burnt the ice if you were there, so I'm glad you weren't there.
But we're going to be joined by the H Podcast. We got Brandon, Joe, and Gerald. Gerald's an MMA fighter. Joe and Brandon end up hosting the H Podcast as well, so we have that. And we also have Ricky Padilla coming up.
Have you talked to them about joining the KM Voice family?
No, that's your job.
Oh, okay.
And I'm just going to point it out ahead of time. So we did have an interview with Ricky Padilla. We'll just point this out. It was pre-recorded. Keith isn't wearing the same shirt as yesterday.
No, even though he tried like hell to make it look like it was going to be part of this show.
And we also said Austin's coming back. He ain't coming back.
Yeah, right. Good attention to detail.
He will come back.
Yeah, just not today.
Not today.
So we'll just throw that out there. But guys, we do have sports to talk about. Also with our the H Podcast and our CBD friends with Delight Cafe CBD. Somehow, some way, we're going to end up incorporating CBD/marijuana and sports. So we're going to end up combining that all in together, have that discussion. So it's going to be very interesting. But as we get things started, guys, I ended up doing a little bit of research.
22 missed text messages.
Why is that a big deal?
I'm sorry. Because you yelled at me for an hour and a half today because I didn't get back to you. There's 22 messages on there.
Because I get back to important people.
Oh, wow.
Oh.
Fair enough.
I had to just let that resonate for a minute.
You're good.
So anyways, though, the top 10 selling jerseys are 9 out of 10, all from Florida. You got 1 and 2, Tua Tagovailoa. I said it right, the one we
talk.
We got Tua.
People.
The 2 different Dolphins ones. You got Brady through 3 through 6. You got a Gronk jersey in there. You have Joe Burrow, and then you have Gronk and Brady again. So Florida's going to be running the NFL just by jersey sales.
I can see that.
I can see that too. I did not expect all of that to happen. So you got the Jags, you got the Bucks. What's another Florida team? The Dolphins.
Hey, Riggs, where do you get the Jags from?
Well, I'm going over the Florida teams right now. I'm going over the Florida teams because they were left out. So there's no Minshew jersey. Like he's not a top seller. Is he even on that team anymore?
He's on the Jaguars still. They traded their starting quarterback that they gave millions to. Yeah. So yeah, he's now a Bear with Mitchell Trubisky, Ohio's own. Better luck finding another sport, maybe.
Wow. Kind of harsh.
But am I lying, though?
No, not at all, man.
But yeah, I mean, that's honestly your top 10 jersey sales, according to Adam Schefter. How is it that Tua is 1 and 2? Drafted number 5 overall. And I mean, like, it's such like a minuscule detail, but it's jersey sales. Like, this is like what people are buying right now with all these
do you think
like
about
monies.
With what's going on, that's not a minuscule detail. That's huge. They need people to put on the back of their jersey. It's just like running a business. You know what I mean? You're not going to put your best employee, and sit them down. That's front and center. That's what you got to do. I mean, Me and Tyler did the same thing. He's our producer, of course. He's like, if we had a jersey sale, it would be him. They just don't know that yet. That's what I mean. You got to have the best people out there.
Understood.
That's why.
Man, if I ever get a
It's
jersey,
not even necessarily the best people.
if I ever get a jersey though, I'd probably get one red with a line on it, and then get Dave on the back.
Oh my God.
Oh my goodness. But so when it comes to like jerseys, I feel like Tua would have the best selling jersey in Miami because the Dolphins, their fan base have been, down in the dumps for so long. So this gives that franchise and the fans new hope.
A rejuvenation.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So like, when we got Baker Mayfield up here, his jersey started to go off the tables like hotcakes.
Well, sure.
So
It's that same thing. They hyped them up. They did it. But that's what you need. And listen, we're in a bad stage of sports, dude. Like, baseball's losing millions of dollars a day. Football's losing money. Basketball's losing money. Golf is losing money, for Christ's sake. We're in a bad time. They need to hype up whoever they can hype up. Slap a name on the jersey and just let them go with it. Because if not, we're going to see bankruptcies that we're not ready to see yet.
Well, I've also noticed too, like, because, I'm back to work and I'm working out in the public.
Gotta brag about it, huh?
No, I'm not. I realized all three major sports brands, they're not making money off jersey sales, tickets, sporting events, and merchandise. So what are they doing? Hey, you want a Minnesota Vikings mask so when you go out in public? Sure. I've seen people with Block C Indians mask and everything like that. It's like, you're still supporting your team.
I want to see the Chief.
Yeah, that would be nice too.
Really random fact though, when they ended up having the article on ESPN.com, they actually had like umpire. They had somebody from another team, and I want to say they had Carlos Carrasco with the Chief Indians hat on though.
Really?
They actually had like a picture of the Chief.
Man.
Even in the show 18, I try to, I like to wear the throwback jerseys and stuff, and the Block C. I'm like, okay, cool. The Crooked C, I love the Crooked C, but there's no
It's
Chief.
just because you're crooked, bro.
Crooked River. That's Cuyahoga River for you Ohio people. You should know that. That's because the Cuyahoga River is crooked.
Oh.
You never looked at it?
I wasn't talking about a
I
river.
don't look at a Cuyahoga River.
not a
No, I don't look at it. What do you mean have I ever looked at it? I didn't study it.
You've never hung out by the Cuyahoga River?
Go cook a burger.
You know what I'm gonna do?
Not cook a burger.
Yeah. But anyways.
Nonetheless.
While we're talking about football, though, you guys remember the lockout from, when was it, 2011 for the NBA?
Yeah.
And we're from Cleveland. We obviously know a man named LeBron James.
Who?
Riggs, you know a man named LeBron James.
I
right?
don't know him, but yeah, he makes good shoes and has good handshakes with his team members. Go on.
It's a douche cake.
How do you know about his handshakes? Have you ever gotten a handshake from LeBron?
No, I haven't, but when you watch him on TV,
I could tell you a funny story about LeBron James, but I'm not going to.
What kind of cliffhanger is that?
Because I don't want to. I'll tell you guys off air. I don't want to be associated with it.
That's fine.
Just listen. I'm from Firelands High School. That's all you got to know. He played at Firelands High School. He played versus Firelands High School before he was. And
when he was at St. Vincent St. Mary.
Right.
Man, I really want to know the story now.
I'll tell it to
The
you.
viewers at home want to know the story.
They don't because they don't want to see me cry.
Oh, all right. Did you get blocked? All right.
all right, nonetheless, again.
Anyways, though,
Blocked.
Anyways, with LeBron, though, during the NBA lockout, a story just ended up coming out this past week, and it was the fact that they had LeBron was offered a contract by the Dallas Cowboys in 2011.
Yeah, I heard about that.
So, imagine that.
Yeah, could you imagine? But the only thing is, do you remember when he was in his basketball stages and he had offers from the Browns? He had offers, because don't forget, everybody thinks that LeBron James was a one-sport guy. He wasn't. He played baseball, he played football, and he played football very, very well.
Yes.
So, he had scholarship offers. It wasn't just the basketball that got people's attention. He was a wide receiver. He was fantastic at it. And so now you look at it like, man, how much different would the sports world be if he went to the Browns, or if he would have went to the NFL, or if he would have went to the MLB? I'm not saying he was good enough in baseball to do that, but definitely
Michael
football.
Jordan wasn't.
No, not at all.
No, and that was the name. The name got him to the Sox. The name got him through the Sox organization. But if you look at LeBron James, everybody goes, "Oh, he was one of the best basketballs." He is the best basketball player ever.
Well, there's a debate on that. We'll get to that a little bit later.
There is. But at least of my generation, I guess he is one of the best basketball players, if not the best. But then you look at what he's also accomplished is the dude could play. He was not a one sport pony. He could go and he could have went into the NFL. He could have, it would just think of how different that what if scenario would have have been for the world of sports, period. Not just basketball, but football, too.
Right, well, he would have broke the Cleveland curse and got the Browns a Super Bowl instead of the...
No.
Let's be real. No.
That's a what if. Come on.
That's like saying that.
It's
like,
not even like a what if. That's just we're bored.
Let's just say this. And yeah, we are bored. There's no sports. But anyways, let's just say this, though. LeBron did it himself in 2007 with the Cavs. He was pretty much the whole entire team.
Yeah.
If he has the same ability in football as he does in basketball, one man can't win the Super Bowl. Unless if you're Tom Brady. Unless if you're somehow, some way Tom
but
Brady.
At that point, you're deflating balls. But I mean, like, you
Man,
still,
those balls weren't deflated.
Because we Manscaped. Sponsor. What the hell? Sponsor. Man, I gave perfect segue. God.
We have a commercial for that.
Oh, doesn't matter. You can still shout out. Go Big Burgers.
Man. But anyways, this is very weird podcast. Like, Austin, is Austin the one that usually puts this in order?
Honestly, Austin just stares at the screen for 20 minutes.
I noticed that,
we
yeah,
go
he
on
does
break.
it.
When you were gone, Coach ended up pointing that out.
Yeah.
Coach Cox, he ended up pointing out, and he was like, why are you always spaced out when you're on air?
It's not even spaced out. Like, he's clearly on something.
Austin, we love you, buddy. We can't wait to see you next week.
Hopefully he's on some CBD.
No, he's just staring at his phone like...
But his phone dies.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But yeah, like, imagine the fact, though, if LeBron ended up playing football instead of basketball. What if he went down a different route?
I think sports world would have been insanely different. I mean, I think we would be talking about... I don't think he would have left Cleveland. I really don't. I think he would have stayed in Cleveland if he played football there. You got to remember, every sport contract is different. Every mind frame going into that sport is different. You know, just like you have right now, we're begging Lindor to stay when we shouldn't be. We should be looking at him going, we need to trade him now and
get
get
something
something
for
for him.
Right.
You know, but if you're looking at like a football, there's a cap on that. You know what I mean?
Yep.
He would have got paid a lot more. The Browns pay. Okay, the Dolans don't. The Browns pay. You know, Gilbert.
Cheap at times.
Cheap's at, you know, and so now you're looking at why did he really leave? You know, I've had this debate. Listen, I don't like LeBron James for the way he left. I don't like him that he left the second time. I don't
The fact that he dunked on you, too.
But he didn't dunk on me. He fucking jumped the... There's a whole nother thing. But so you almost got me to tell a story. But so if you look at like that mind frame of sports and how it's and how he left, he wouldn't have left. I think he would still be in Cleveland. I think he would still be a Browns. I hate you. I think he would have been a Browns fan, a player, whatever. Get out of here.
And plus, you know, the old school mentality, you know, like, you know, as the kids call it nowadays, the old heads, I believe in, I don't go to another team and make super teams. I'm going to grind it out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's what I'm doing in MLB The Show. Again, another mention, Sony Studios.
yeah,
Give us
come
money.
on, MLB.
Segue for that, but not a perfect segue for man. Oh my god.
You know,
Because I forgot the Manscaped.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. But like nonetheless, again, you know, like I'm not gonna.
I don't have crabs.
If our producer Tyler is beating me in the ALCS for 2-3 years in a row, I'm not gonna say, well, let me form a team with Peyton and Keith and try to beat our producer to get to the World Series.
Although we kind of
sure.
did do that, though, in a way, if you think about it.
Right, we did, but you know, like there's a lot of people that it's a new day and age, it's a new generation. Michael Jordan really didn't play anybody too tough or too serious. LeBron had the harder task. Two different eras, two different conversations.
And that's true. But if you look at it from a football standpoint, if he does play football and he does go out there, what are the chances? Obviously, his jersey is going to sell, but is he going to be as big? Is he going to be? Is he going to be the big star that he is now? If he didn't play, you know, if he wasn't in basketball and he was in football.
Well, I think it just comes down to the point that in basketball, there's 12 people that are playing and 3 reserves, so you have a total of 15 on your roster. In football, you have a 52-man roster. I think they're talking 55 this year for football. So LeBron's one person in 55. I'm not good at math, but that percentage is not as good as 1 in 15.
No, and
No, understood, yeah.
And you have to look at it from the standpoint of, is he going to have as big a head as he does? Because, I mean, dude, look, so I've said it before on the show. We take Cleveland players and we pump them up to the point of going, we don't need you anymore. That's what we do.
Mm-hmm.
We farm greatness. That's what Cleveland has always done, and it's sick.
Yes.
Because then they forget about us. I mean, look at Tomey. For God's sakes, that man should have retired in an Indians jersey.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't. He left and he took the money. It's because Tomey was this. Tomey was the best. Tomey was, you know, and at the time when you really break down the numbers, he wasn't. Is he a Hall of Famer? Absolutely. Yes. But is he a Mike Trout? No. You know what I mean? Is he he's not. He wasn't. I don't think so. So when you look at like what Cleveland does to boost these players' egos, it's disgusting. The only one we ever boosted that stayed was Cribbs. You know what I mean? Like, he was the one that gave a damn about Cleveland.
Yeah.
Still gives a damn about Cleveland.
I mean, he lives here. He has his own news show.
My
Right.
ex-girlfriend always runs into him at gas stations all the time.
And we
like,
hyped him up. We did that, and that was one of the times you show the love for that. You know what I mean? You're like, no matter, like, your girlfriend, runs into him, like
Ex-girlfriend.
or ex-girlfriend. Like, think about
For
that.
various reasons.
Yeah, like, he just swings by, and everything's cool. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, swings by.
Swings
It's
by.
ridiculous.
Everything's all right.
But before we end up heading to our next break, though, Keith, I know you'd end up appreciating this one. The fact that not only is this Pittsburgh news, but it's also a governor involved. So I know that you're out for not necessarily blood, but you're out for attention at least.
I'm not. I hate Mike DeWine. I'm not gonna.
But you're
shout out
gonna
that.
hate Pittsburgh's governor too.
I hate Pittsburgh. Period.
The Pittsburgh governor was unhappy at the fact that the Steelers had a hype video. Well, Big Ben had a hype video. And he ended up having his beard that looked like 10 feet long trimmed up. And the governor actually got mad because he actually got himself taken care of while barbershops were not open yet.
Well, what if Big Ben did it himself?
He didn't. There was a video.
Well, that shows how much I pay attention to anything Pittsburgh or
the
Steelers
only
related.
thing is we had, dude, this is like some serious stuff. Because it's getting worse. Pittsburgh or not, I don't care. They still have jobs. They still have stuff they need to do. And look, Chris,
and a pretty yellow bridge, too.
Coach Chris Cox came on here at Hooligans Gym, and he literally begged. He had to beg.
I find it very ironic
to get
that
back open.
that a few days later they were like, "Yep, gyms are open." Right after that, I wonder if we have that much pull. I want like $1 million.
I don't. I want our governors to stop. It's time. Look, nobody's social distancing here. They can't. But nobody's social distancing here. But even if we were, look, coronavirus, bad, yes, get it. Cold, same thing. Flu, yeah, it is. People are losing jobs. People are losing money. Sports is canceled because we're afraid of getting the flu? No. This isn't America. This is some weird country that I don't want to be a part of. Open up sports. Mike DeWine, just go to hell already, bro. And let's figure something else out.
Well, I
got
guess
15 minutes with your punk ass, so we'll have some fun on my show.
Man, he is just... Keith is on a roll today. You're on one, as the kids say.
Like, I got friends that are losing businesses for this, and I stand behind the small
I didn't
business.
lose my job
I
at
don't care.
GNC or anything, and they closed down. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm still bitter.
I know, but you're here and you eat my food, so I know you're safe. But like,
I
other
cook your
people,
food. You know how bad my cooking is?
I didn't say I ate your food. I said you ate your food.
I eat my own cooking.
Yeah. But like when you break it down, I've asked, I've wrote the governor, I've called them, and I said, dude, you're killing people. You're killing people more than COVID is. I stand behind any small business. I really stand behind the sports, and I can't take it anymore. You're a little mini douchebag. You're a Hitler, and I'm tired of it. And I hate you.
Well,
I hate you.
On that note, before we do go to break, though, this is a very interesting subject.
Dr.
though.
Amy Acton is awful looking. She's off. I hate you too. I hate you.
This is a sports podcast.
Screw you, piss off. I hate you. Don't be giving me no neck sign, goddamn military guy. Shut up. I hate you, Amy Acton. I hate you, Mike DeWine. Here we go.
All right. Anyways,
Shut up.
with the whole entire ordeal, though, I don't know if you guys heard this one as well, but the NFL is actually urging coaches now to hire minority coaches and like people of color. So if you end up hiring like a minority head coach, a minority general manager.
No. I'm like, why is he looking?
I'm looking at both of you guys.
Understood, but they want to hire more minority coaches
For like
and such.
GMs, executives, coaches, and like they're actually like bribing them with draft picks. Draft picks, like third round, like
I don't think that's right.
they're going like third round, 20th pick. All right, if you hire this black head coach, you could go up 10 spots in the draft. Everybody's going to do it
The
now.
only thing is,
I've been here.
It affects so much of the draft, though.
Well, I've been hearing a lot in my African American communities and through channels and YouTube videos that
Make sure you just
Daddy.
subscribe to the We Like Sports podcast on YouTube. Anyways,
like Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, whatever he wants to go by, him and a bunch of other African American entrepreneurs, they want to own sports teams and be general managers and such like that. And to me, with that right there, that's not news to me. that's been talked about in my community for the past 10 or 15 years or so.
I don't see why that would matter. Like, here's my opinion on it. If they're good for the job, they're good for the job.
Hell
the
yeah.
job. You know what I'm saying? Like,
exactly.
what does color have to do? Dude, it's 2020. We're literally getting killed by murder hornets and some fake disease, and the governor's Hitler. Are you serious? We now have to sit there and say that color matters? Dude, color doesn't matter. Like, I don't see you as black or white. I don't see you.
What is going on today, man?
Like, I see you as just a person. So if there's someone who's good for the job, dude, Tony Dungy, amazing coach.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, could you imagine if he was coach of the Browns?
But Mike Tomlin,
Yeah,
he's a
been
head
around
coach
forever,
for
and he's not going to be
African-American.
grandfathered in, though.
Yeah.
Like, and that's not being biased from a Pittsburgh fan perspective. It's the fact that, like, they only have 3 or 4 African-American coaches, and now they're at the point, like, well, you know, and I hate to say it, but, like, compared to Dallas, the fact that Dallas, like, I find it very ironic, the fact that Dallas ends up saying that they'd end up hiring LeBron James in 2011, because I don't think Jerry Jones is going to be the type that hires a minority head coach.
No.
Why?
I don't think so.
Because he doesn't let his people... Okay, here we go. Why? Because he doesn't want people to kneel for the flag. Get your ass up. Motherfucker died over that. Sorry, I know I shouldn't have said that, but people died over the flag. Stand up, get up.
Right.
I'm just sorry. You want to kneel? Like Colin Kaepernick, he started all this crap. He's an idiot. He's a moron. He's an idiot. Period. Sorry. Go ahead.
Man, that divorce is very hitting you once today.
Oh, my God. Damn. No. Screw you. You're not eating food anymore.
But, like, I don't know. I've always heard rumors that, like, Jerry Jones, you know, he's always... Now, I'm not saying the guy is prejudiced or racist or anything, but there's always been questions like, well, how come Jerry Jones has never hired a person of color as their head coach? You know,
Not
as bad
even
as
head
Jason...
coach, like general manager, executive, like...
Well, that's his job. He's a GM. He's the owner. He's the president. You know what I'm saying? So
I can kind of see it, but like if you're good for the job, if you are good to have the job, like you have the qualifications for it, you have the experience for it, what difference does it matter what color you are?
Exactly.
For God's
That's
sakes.
exactly the point. And like the thing is that they bring people in. Like, it's the Rooney Rule. They end up bringing people in. Like, this is what my boss and I talked about the radio station I worked at. They end up having, like, people come in, people of color, and they're like, you know what? We'll give you the interview. But when they have that interview, how is that going exactly? Is it like, hey, nice blue shoes. How's your day? Oh, you want this job? You can't have it. End of the interview, let's sit in silence. It just makes you wonder, because behind closed doors, what is going on?
But you got to look at the greats, though. Look at what we just got done talking about, Tony Dungy. I mean, if you put Tony Dungy in a room next to Bill Belichick, who's getting the job? Bill Belichick. Does it have to do with Tony Dungy's color? No, it has the fact that Bill Belichick is a great. He's fantastic. But then if you put Tony Dungy in a room next to Romeo Crennel, who's getting the job?
Wow, that's the first Browns coach I ever remember. Was Romeo Crennel.
And that's the thing, though. Cleveland has actually done a good job. Like, they've hired
We've
minority
lost
coaches.
every year.
Sashi Brown was that our GM or something at one time?
He was horrible.
Yeah, it was.
But it was still like, and this is something that I think the Browns end up doing, though. I think they end up possibly, like, especially, I mean, the Browns draft and love drafting over and over again. It sounds like that could be a route that, not necessarily Kevin Stefanski, but like a guy like, not Kevin Stefanski, but like your GM or your executives, that like they end up having people of color or African American, Chinese, however that may be.
Sure.
That might be their route because they're getting up in the draft picks. A third round pick is a third round pick.
But here's how it goes, dude. Political correctness has killed everything.
Yes, PC. Yep.
So screw the political correctness. If you're good for the job, you get hired. If it's because you're black, congratulations. If it's because you're white, congratulations. If it's because you're Chinese, congratulations. Who cares? I want sports back. I want the best possible person to put the Browns in a position to take the Super Bowl. If you're black, awesome. If you're white, awesome. Who cares anymore? Why do we have to do this?
Yeah. Honestly, I think you're just... That was probably the most calm Keith was in this whole entire segment. And I think on that note, it was actually like... It was good. So we're going to go to break now. We'll be back in the We Like Sports podcast after this.
Need to spice up your website? Grab some attention on your Facebook page? Need an intro, outro for your YouTube channel? KM Voice will do it all. Pump up your profits and add some video advertising on your channel. Add some fire to your marketing campaign. Do you want to advertise on the radio and want a professional to handle your audio? Well, guess what? We do that too. From writing the script to producing the finished product, we take the pain out of advertising. Need to add voice to your company's training video? Yep, leave it to us. Send us a message on Facebook at KM Voice or give us a call at 440-213-2860. That's 440-213-2860. Production doesn't have to be a hassle. We give you the best because you deserve the best. Send us a message or call now.
If you're
bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored.
why not play with your balls? Our sponsor today, Manscaped, is here to make sure your balls are smooth while you or your partner are playing with them. Manscaped promotes clean hygiene when it comes to shaving your balls thanks to their Lawnmower 3.0. So a little side note, have you ever cut your balls while shaving them? I have, and that is painful. I would not ever do that again, and I would never shave my balls if it wasn't for Manscaped, because once I started using Manscaped, I no longer had to worry about the bleeding anymore. Also, for any new subscribers, you end up getting replacement blades refilled for your Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer delivered to your door every 3 months, making sure your trimmer always stays fresh and clean. And for a limited time, subscribers get not only 1, but 2 free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag, which is a $39 value, and the high-patented, high-performance, anti-chafing Manscaped Boxer Briefs. This is the perfect package for your perfect package. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SPORTSWITHAZ at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at Manscaped. And use the code SPORTS. Make playing with your balls the best part of your day. Thanks, Manscaped.
Oh, that looks awesome.
And we're back on the We Like Sports podcast. At this time, Riggs and I are joined by Brandon and Gerald. Brandon, you're from the H podcast. You end up having, that's your baby pretty much, right?
Well, Delight Cafe is my baby, but the H is, yeah, definitely.
Okay.
That's my podcast baby.
Gotcha.
Understood.
So you have 2 babies.
I have lots of babies.
Oh.
I own a couple companies.
Okay. I didn't, oh, never mind. I was hoping you didn't own kids.
No. I try to avoid them.
And then we're also joined by Gerald, who ends up, he's an MMA fighter as well. And he also, you said he kind of helps out with the products too. He intakes your products.
He does. Gerald's a big shout out. Gerald's always on social media talking about the product, putting it in stuff. And Gerald's just, the first time I met him was one of the nicest guys I've ever met. And I'm like, yeah, you have to work with me. Like, so the minute he said he was in, it was like, yeah, let's have some fun. Let's do this. And since then, Gerald's been having fun running around and we've been doing this.
Yeah, nice. It's been a great experience. I mean, it was likewise with Brandon. Like, I met the dude and I was like, this dude's awesome.
Just
like,
clicked.
Yeah, dude, it was easy. It was like, he's got great energy, he's got vision, and it's like, this is a person like I need to be involved with, like, for sure.
And really weird backstory too, Brandon. I mean, not everybody knows this, but like, you and I met at a comedy club in downtown Cleveland, Hilarities. He was running around before the show. I think it was a Mike Polk Jr. show at the time, and you were actually sponsored there.
I was.
But he was running around selling his Delight Cafe CBD droplet for your water. Not selling, but actually like giving out samples to everybody. And like he has this pitch, and he was just going, and it was like balls to the wall, 30 seconds, here it is, try it, pour it in, done, good, next table. And he was like, so many words came out of his mouth, and I'm like, I like this guy. I want to befriend this guy. And here we are now about, I don't even know. That was February, like 3 months later, probably.
Yeah, but you got Corona timeline in there. There's 2 months of our lives that is just like we can't count.
So we're in March.
Yep. If you look at the weather, you'd think that too. So just go with it, everybody. You know.
So obviously, though, you got the H podcast. You said that's your podcast, and then also you have the Delight Cafe CBD. Tell us a little bit more about the Delight Cafe CBD, and just give us a little bit more information about, I guess, CBD as a whole. I know, obviously, we're going to end up talking about marijuana and sports and how that works out. I mean, any Cleveland fan whatsoever knows about Josh Gordon. Maybe he could have used some of that. I don't know.
Dummy.
I like how you looked at the camera so
Yeah,
strong.
because if Swisher Sweet says, hey, Riggs, you have to put this stuff down, guess what? I'll come back to you when I'm done. I'll get that NFL money because you're always going to be there. Mm-hmm. Dummy.
So actually, that's kind of funny. So yesterday, I knew I was coming on, and I spent the day, like the part of the day, doing a ton of stuff, getting ready for this. I wanted to know every sports regulations and where they're at on this. I got a little overboard. I shouldn't have done the edible because it hit me. I'm sorry. Am I allowed to say that?
Yes,
on
you
here?
are.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just not allowed to say what? Fuck? Oh, sorry. I mean,
No C word, no N word, obviously.
okay, well, I wouldn't say that one at all. That's just rude. Like, I don't know if you know, I'm kind of Caucasian, so I'd respect you.
I would say I love you.
Doesn't even meet the guy yet, and he's like, "I love you, dude.
I like that.
Keep your pants on."
No, it's okay, buddy. I believe your pants are on. You're comfortable in your sexuality. I know what I bring to the table. We're good. So, Delight Cafe is my baby. Basically, what happened... Do you still need a hug?
I do.
You
got mad about Gordon like I got mad about Hitler.
Not even. You got mad about Hitler and DeWine. I know. Like, well, all right, let's get back to that.
Right.
Like, I don't want to talk about Hitler anymore today. So marijuana.
The edible you were taking, sports regulations.
I went and looked up everything. Thank you. Thank you. They every sport regulation all the way down to ping pong. By the way, ping pong doesn't have any regulation on it. They tell you to actually almost smoke it. So just a thing to know. Like if you want to do something with your life, ping pong. Chinese people will love you.
Is that also kind of how the sound effects come into play too? It's just a part of it. Like it's not necessary, but they're like, meow.
Yeah, I think the sound
is really high.
Yeah, that's why it works. Like golf says no to weed. Like they literally say no whatsoever to it. They don't want you on it. If they catch you, you're out. I sent you the email. I forget which one it was. One leak. Oh, rugby. Rugby has every single one of the links in there, like to their like regulations. If you get caught smoking weed, it's a 24-month suspension.
Wow.
Yeah.
But okay, so it's a suspension for that. But I can go to Big Pharma and get some over the counter that can possibly ruin my liver and etc. But this little seed from the earth that's natural, I get in trouble for that. I work out and I do active things when I can. And if I'm sore from the gym, there's days I don't want to take a Tylenol. Mm-hmm. So there's days I do want to self-medicate myself. And I feel a heck of a lot better doing it that way because I know where it came from and I know that it's safe. Mm-hmm. I don't trust the people at the corner of Happy and Healthy. I'm not going to throw the company's name out there, but I don't trust that. I don't even like taking Tylenol to go to bed. That's why I'd rather, the other thing to self-medicate.
Absolutely.
Because I just don't feel right.
So here's the...
No.
All right, I'm going to let you have a lot of fun soon. I'll shut up.
Yeah.
Everybody knows I rarely shut up, but for you, I shut up. So I agree with you 100% because the thing is, you need to be able to self-medicate. And when Gerald and I met... By the way, I know this... like zero about UFC, MMA, all of that. I was told you just have to meet him. And when we started getting together and talking, he's like, so what are your thoughts on marijuana? I'm like, I want to change the world and have people understand. This really is like you're saying, this is a medicine. And people don't understand like how it can affect you. Like for me, I'm a former youth pastor. So for me, I always thought weed was horrible. Weed was something you do not do. It's bad for you. It's going to make brains.
That's how we were indoctrinated growing up and stuff like that.
What?
Nothing.
Did you not believe that I was a youth pastor? Is that what you said?
That caught me off guard, brother.
Yeah. Do you want to know what I did right before I created Delight Cafe? I ran the third largest Starbucks in the world.
That I believe.
That I have seen.
It was the Cleveland Clinic Starbucks. I ran that.
You ran that? I know exactly. Weird side story.
Joe, I ran Patrick.
My girlfriend and her one friend, actually, the one time, this was like, I don't know, like 11 o'clock at night, and she was like, you know what? I want Starbucks. I'm like, aren't they all closed? And she's like, Cleveland Clinic. We made a random trip to the Cleveland Clinic, and we went to your Starbucks.
Thank you.
I didn't have anything silent coffee at the time, but...
They have. I'm not going to pitch Starbucks. So,
who cares? They don't even exist anymore.
True. I mean,
you don't own them, right?
No.
Okay, so no big deal.
No, I don't care. No, but like I was running that, and one day I'm looking around, and that store does so much business. So much business. We opened a second store in that same facility, and it didn't affect it at all. It just matched numbers of stores that were around it, like other stores. So like, it's a big thing. Like that, people love their coffee. People love their stuff, but they don't want to hear anything about CBD. They don't want to hear anything about weed. They don't want to hear anything like, 'cause it's got these. It's indoctrined into being something that people don't want to actually have to deal with, because it means they have to admit they were lied to.
Fact.
So my grandpa was a police officer. And that was one of the things on why I always thought this was bad. He worked for the City of Cleveland Police. He taught, if you wanted to learn how to shoot with the City of Cleveland Police, you literally had to go through him. All right? Hubert Humpel. Love you, Grandpa. Know you're God. God rest. Boop. So,
this dude's awesome.
Sorry. I'm ADHD 24/7, and then like when I'm alone, I'm like, I just want to be in a hammock and read. Like, for real. A little LSD. No, shh, don't do that.
So we could tell that the quarantine did you really well with
I was so happy to see people today, guys. Thank you for letting me out. Sorry. That's me just having fun. But
put it back in the cave.
After 12.
What'd you say, buddy?
No food after midnight.
That's Joe, guys. So I have to censor this for anybody that's from the Age podcast that's listening. Joe from F Joe. I can't say the F word. I'm sorry. It's so anytime in life you have a barrier in front of you, you really can't break through. You find that guy, that friend, that person that looks you in the eyes and says, "What the hell are you doing wrong?" And like they try to help you and they look you in the eyes and like Joe cleaned out my closets. Goes, "You're eating shit upon shit." And like he's like, "This is ridiculous." And he goes, "You're a leader. You need to lead like you're supposed to lead." And I'm like, "Damn, like nobody talks to me like this."
How dare he?
Right. So I wanted to say, "Joe," and I didn't. Yeah, that was my censor. You like that? I didn't have to have you beep. So I literally he started going through and I had 5 Oreos left. That's right, 5. He will tell you 2. And he threw them away when I wasn't looking because he's like, "You don't need them." And I wanted to say F Joe, but the thing is, I didn't need them. And anything in your life that's in front of you, you could say F Joe to, because of the fact, you can blame him and he won't care. And the truth is, it's your fault, it's in the way. Get yourself out of the way. That's your F you. Right, Joe?
We got to get Joe on eventually, too.
Yeah.
He doesn't talk much. I cut his tongue out.
Oh, really?
No, but
I don't want you.
I know sign language. Do you want to do it? Do you want me to leave the hoodie? Joe wants me to take the hoodie off because
he's wearing a green shirt.
Well, yeah, like Ninja Turtles.
You look good in the outfit.
So, guys, here, you guys interviewed Gerald. I'm going to go over here for a second. And you talked to him about being an MMA fighter and what he uses CBD for to, help himself be able to get, back in the best shape. I'm going to just hide back here.
If we need you, we'll just yell.
Yeah, just yell. I'll be back, guys.
All right. So, Gerald.
Yep.
Somehow you know Brandon.
Yeah. Long story.
Dude, let's go into it. Why not?
Oh, it's pretty simple. I met a gentleman at a Cleveland event a few years ago.
Gentleman's Club.
Well, no, because I was on stage at that event. So
you worked at a Gentleman's Club?
Twice. No. So it was a startup event.
Okay.
Startup Scale Up, Cleveland Startup Scale Up. And I met this guy there, phenomenal guy, same energy as him. He's a little more reserved, but still all the same shit. After he meets Brandon, he's like, "Oh, you gotta know this guy." So I'm like, what the hell is this guy getting me into? And then this thing gets carted over to me, and I'm like, he's absolutely right. Like just an incredible dude. So
okay,
yeah,
awesome.
So,
and obviously we could tell with the energy.
Yeah, that's why it's a crazy story. It's not the story; it's what came out of it.
Sorry.
I have a question.
Okay.
Because we're technically in the same field or whatnot. Before I go to the gym, I take my pre-workout or I eat my meal. I don't like to self-medicate before I do because my heart is going all sorts of ways and everything like that. But I have friends that they can smoke 2, 3, 4, 5 of them bad boys, and then they want to go out and they want to, okay, Riggs, throw the football here and I want to run routes.
Yeah.
Or, hey, come over here and let's go work out. It's like, dude, can we do that afterward? To some people, that's a chill time. To some people, it motivates them.
Correct.
So I was like, how does it affect you guys? Is it a chill, relaxed moment, or is it just I can go out there and do anything?
I guess the best example for Gerald, you're an MMA fighter, assuming that you were training. Obviously with training and your actual fights, I guess just a point-blank question. Do you end up smoking before you end up fighting or training, essentially?
Not really. I've tried it a few times with training. It just, I'm kind of in the same boat as you. I want to decompress. I want to relax. I just kind of want to chill. It's good for my body. Helps if I have pain or anything. Mm-hmm. But in the times I've tried it, and went and trained, I can't really focus.
Right.
It's kind of I feel like I'm getting worked up too much. I've had some good training days, high for sure, but it's just not for me. I had a buddy in college that would wrestle stoned out of his mind, and he would wrestle incredible. It was almost dude, you had such a a good day today. And he's like, yeah, I'm fine.
Yeah, man.
And it's
cool.
but
I know this is a thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't really smoke, so I know this is a thing, though.
Shocker. More of a surfer.
Have you ever done that while smoking? I'm asking.
Done what?
Go like this. Been
in the middle, so I'm just sitting on the edge of my bed, and I'm just Yeah, brother. No.
Thank you. He's saying that. He's like, I don't smoke, so I don't know. I'm like, what? That's surfing, bro.
You almost said what the H. I get what the H is now.
I'm gonna be thinking about that shit later. Like, what the fuck? I can't stop it.
That's funny.
I thought it was just a twitch that you guys had. You're like, hit the
no, that's
whatever.
I
mean,
I know what
the
you're
bowl or
thinking.
the
That's
blunt.
saying you want to smoke. Like, let's go smoke.
Is that
That's
sign
the goal.
language?
It actually is.
Well, in
By
my
the way-
family, we just give you. It's just that we're at Thanksgiving, and my sister just.
Yeah.
Oh, let's go, and
You
boom,
already
that's it.
But
We
you know
already
the
know.
smokers. Like, why do you think I wanted to sit by you? I'm like, oh, I could bring out a joint. We'd have a good time. But I'm like, they probably don't want that on the show. This is a family show, you know?
Yeah, kinda. I mean,
I dropped an F-bomb. I do apologize.
it's fine. I mean, so did
I also
Keith.
like how it like calms me down, like because I started to get into it a lot more. I used to be a waiter for 5 years, and dealing with the public,
The service industry.
exactly. I would come home and I would like close my eyes and I would hear distinct chatters and plates dropping and just people yelling and screaming, and then I will self-medicate and I'm cool.
Yeah, you're good, dude.
And there's times where, and here's another thing this is the important part. I think that if people was to self-medicate with marijuana or CBD, look at the people that have eating disorders.
Mm-hmm.
There's days where, oh, I'm not hungry, but the second I self-medicate, I can eat anything.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? So it's also can save lives, too. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's
a lot. So, like, all right, I'll do my CBD pitch. You
There
ready?
we go. Here it is.
So
Do it as quick as you did at Hilarities, though. Or at that gentleman's club there where Gerald worked at.
That
Allegedly.
that one I had to take my time on. So, like, I agree with you 100%.
Was he giving you a lap dance?
I mean, I had a 20. So, like, and you, oh God, I want to make so many jokes. I'm ADD. Don't distract me. So, CBD is a thing that it's legal. As of the 2018 Farm Bill, hemp is legal to be grown. Hemp is able to be sold over the counter. It is able to be bought by people. The thing is, a lot of people don't understand is they hear FDA and DEA and all these. You know what? The FDA doesn't want the food industry coming out with it. They don't want you to be able to go to McDonald's and say, I want a CBD Coke with like 3 fries and shake some CBD salt on there. No, they don't want you to do that because then you'll be calm and everybody won't be angry at everything. That's why they're doing that, so it doesn't become a big thing. Because the other thing is, we're taking on big pharma with CBD industries. CBD, hemp, marijuana, I agree with you. You need to be able to know how you're going to balance yourself in life. And that's why I started this company, because I'm, if you couldn't guess, a little all over the place. I have my hand in like 18 different pots at one time, always working, because I just can't sit still. I needed something to help with that, and coming from the pastoral background, I could not find anything. They kept putting me on pills. I tried to kill myself twice because of pills.
exactly.
And like, for real, got the tattoo. Stand that Colon Club. So I literally, I literally hit a point where I'm like, how do I do this? And I walked out on my job the day, I was done. I went in, it was feeling life, and I'm like, I need to find what makes me happy and not keep doing anything for everybody else. And that's something that every single person I swear a lot. I'm sorry, guys.
I had a conversation, and if you're hip to professional wrestling, it's this guy. His name was Val Venus, and he is big into the whole medical marijuana and CBDs and everything like that. And for about the half hour to 20 minutes, I spoke to him. It wasn't about wrestling. He was educating me. And that's where I learned that, like, we've get indoctrined since when we were born about, hey, you're not allowed to do this, you're not allowed to do that. My mother smoked marijuana, and growing up, I would always see her say, hey, you're never allowed to do this, you're never allowed to do this. And I'm scared. As I got older and I started experiencing myself, I'm looking over my shoulder like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, like, she's going to kill me. But at the end of the day, I can go off and do that and not off in a car and never to wake up again.
Correct.
But that still gets a bad rep. You understand?
Oh,
and like that, now I'm getting angry because it's just,
here, you want me to bring
it's
you back?
garbage. Marijuana is garbage.
Oh, no. So hold on.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree
like, it just
with you.
pisses me off.
So I want to make sure I emphasize one thing, because we keep saying marijuana and hemp and all that. There is a difference. So I'm going to throw something at you. Imagine lilies, okay? Every girl loves lilies, the flower, right? So all of a sudden, your girl likes lilies and you guys break up, and this other girl likes the jasmine lilies. They're the same lily, but it's a different flower, correct? That's what hemp and marijuana is, but they're both labeled cannabis. And that's the thing where people are taking that word and thinking it's all bad stuff. With CBD, that's for that like joint pain, that athletic problem. You want to get focused right before a workout, you don't want to smoke. You want something like easy. Put it in your water. That's what I have. So the pack it's odorless, colorless, tasteless. It's literally, and looks like sugar. It's like it's in a crystal. All right,
It's like a Crystal Light packet.
so it's odorless, colorless, tasteless, helping you find your calm, your balance, and your delight when you need it most. Choose anything you want and put it inside. Ketchup, whoop, stir it with a fry and enjoy. You want a Long Island iced tea? Whoop, whoop, put it in, have a great time. Find your calm, your balance, and your delight when you need it most. And the thing is, everybody wants to go do something with CBD, but nobody wants to help people, and I want to help people. I want to be able to give it to you and have it be like, hey, when I'm out, I don't want to smoke this, I don't want to do that, I need to be able to, because I smoke a lot too, but be able to put it in something and just find my chill. Imagine being at a fight, and we're all going out there. Like,
and I mean, I'm sure you're like going into a fight too, like anything performance-wise too, like I never even knew this until recently, but like probably like within the past year, I'm like, all right, I'm always tense. I'm always like aggravated at like something stupid, and it turns out I have anxiety. So like even like doing like this podcast, like every now and then, like especially like having like a guest on, like we had Zach Plesac on, and like we were waiting for that reply back, and it's like, all right, man, like I'm getting anxious here. It's close to showtime. This isn't working. And it's like I'm sure that ends up helping with like pre-fight anxiety too.
Yeah. Well, and for me, it's like I can use CBD before a fight. I try to keep it like as natural as I can because I've done a really good job at developing my mental. Like that's been the biggest thing. I don't only want to be like one of the most skilled fighters out there, but I want to be the smartest. Mm-hmm. So I try to make sure I don't rely on anything like that going into the fight itself. But in terms of recovery, it's one of the most important things in terms of my recovery. In terms of just like helping me sleep. Anyone that knows me knows I go 1,000 miles per hour all the time.
So that's why you two work together so well too.
Yeah, I might seem a little mild-mannered, but that's next to him.
I can see.
He's going 1,000. You're going like 500. I get it.
I was the kid in Little League doing cartwheels out in the outfield, and they were like, "What the fuck?" And then the ball's hitting. I'm somehow right on it and catch it. And they're like, "What the hell is wrong with this kid?" So that's me. When I was young, keep me up at night constantly. I'd lay down and I'd be like, dirt bikes. And just like think about like racing dirt bikes and shit, and then I'd just be like, I would just think of something random, like, and that was my head all night long. I would just think out any number of possibilities like that I could possibly think of, and that is amplified going towards a fight. So like in the camp, in the days leading up, I do use his products, and they do help because I'm not at night laying down at night thinking, okay, like. I got to look out for this punch, this punch, this punch, this punch. It's good to visualize that to a point, but I already do that. So if I'm up at 2 a.m. at night thinking about that, it's just, it's over-analyzing. So his stuff does help quite a bit along with, marijuana itself. But with that, I got to be careful on my timing in terms of drug testing and stuff like that. Because you can't go into the actual fight under the influence.
So, for example, though, I mean, obviously, I'm clueless when it comes to UFC. I know Brock Lesnar was in it, Cain Velasquez, and they ended up going in WWE. And I know, like, Ronda Rousey, and, like, I know, like, all the big names and Conor McGregor, but, like, all those guys, though, like, when you mentioned, like, drug testing, and I know that, like, this is always a thing that, like, it's always panic. Like, obviously, when you hear drug test, no matter what, I mean, even if you're sober or you're not, when you hear drug tests when it comes to a job or sports, like, obviously, like, you have that built-up anxiety. Yeah. So the fact that, like, on air you just said that, like, hey, man, like, I know I have, like, this drug test, but I'm able to get around it. Like, does that worry you by, like, any chance at all, or is it just, like, you're just comfortable with it and that's you as a whole and, like, it's not really a worry because of it?
Well, it comes from education. I know my body better than anyone it could. Mm-hmm. I used to wrestle. I wrestled at New Lexington High School back where I'm from. Went to Kent State, wrestled 4 years at Kent State, and I've cut weight all the wrong ways, I've eaten all the wrong ways, but along the way I found the right ways to do stuff. I know how much weight I'm going to lose in a given practice. Like, I know how all these things affect my body. So circling back to that, I know like the exact amount of time I need, and I still give myself grace. Like 2 weeks, I'm good. Cut it. I work out a lot. My body fat percentage is very low. But I always go 3.5. I'm not taking that risk, but like it's fine. Like it's been good. So
awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Riggs, do you have any more questions at all for Brandon or Gerald regarding the CBD? I mean, or marijuana as a whole. I mean, I know this is right up your alley. You're gonna end up going home after this and smoking a joint. I know.
Do you notice that like Rob Gronkowski looks different, that he hasn't been working? Because like you've told me, because you've read that he did the CBD thing and everything like that, and
it makes a big difference. Like, so like for real, that like that's the other thing is the education on it. Is people need to learn that like. If you're an opiate addict, okay, like the opiates a huge epidemic in our country, they use CBD to help with that now. for real. In Chicago, they were giving away, if you came in with your street opiates and you traded it in, they'd trade it in for CBD for you. Wow. And like the level that you'd need. So like 600 milligrams of CBD is like a maxed out Oxycontin. So
wow.
Yeah, and then I'm offering a 15 milligram. That's to show you the difference. A 15 milligram dose is a great introductory dose for that. That way you see how it handles it, and you know where you want to get for things like that for anyone. And being able to not have to change like to oil or anything. That's why I agree with you, marijuana, man. I'm for it. I want the light to be the CBD because I think that's going to be first. Ultimate dream is to have the marijuana business that people trust. I want to grow all over the country. I want to be able to, because hemp does more than just help a body. It does a lot with like, it absorbs CO2.
I've heard the Constitution in the Mona Lisa was drawn and written on hemp.
So they debunked the one, Mona Lisa, yes, but the Constitution, it's only one page on hemp, but the rest of it is on hemp. The rest of it was on regular papers and all that. So
got you.
Trust me, I had to look into that myself because I wanted to.
I'm like, really?
Oh yeah. If you want to have a fun one, look at Adam Ruins Everything. It's
Ben Franklin used to say after a hard day of politicking, his favorite thing was smoking a joint afterwards.
Correct.
Founding father.
Abe Lincoln would tell everybody, to go get there, to go trim his hemp. Like, for real, they were growing it all the time.
Yeah.
You know,
I appreciate the heck out of you. But right, I get you.
You've earned respect, man. I like you. People need to back off people. Like, be nice.
Life's hard, be kind to one another.
Like, that's my biggest thing in life. Be nice. Like, all of my companies are about being good. Be good, people. Like, sports are great. I love sports. I'm a huge Browns fan. I love how we did the same thing.
I'm looking at you.
I did this for you, and you looked at the camera and did. I'm like, it works perfectly.
For the audio audience, that was like a double fist pump too. So,
wow. It's about being different in this world and helping people. And I believe that I have 2 master's degrees. I've done a lot of things, and at 37 years old, I've seen the world in many ways, and I just want to change it. I want to make it such a better place, starting here in Cleveland. Yeah. You know?
Awesome. Well, I think we're going to end up running out of time, though. But if you want to stick around, though, we have a 4th chair now, so if you guys want to stick around after we end up coming back from the interview with Ricky Padilla to close the show, you guys are more than welcome to. But before we end up letting you go, though, you guys got your limelight. Where could they find you on social media? Both Gerald, the MMA fighter, as well as Delight Cafe CBD.
You just gave all my social media. Delight Cafe CBD. Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, all of it. Thank you.
It's like it's a segue.
It is. We didn't plan that. Nope. I'm going to go now and let you guys have fun with you.
And then, Gerald, what's your MMA? The whole entire background of it with the social media.
Bye, guys.
I am at Gerald Spawn. That's Gerald with a J. Spawn, SPOHN. Everything. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all that. I say a bunch of dumb shit on Twitter. Best place to follow me.
I think that's where I'm going to follow you at, both personally and at the We Like Sports podcast as well on that Twitter. But we'll be back with Ricky Padilla after this on the We Like Sports podcast. Stay tuned. If you're
bored in the house and I'm in the house bored. Bored in the house and I'm in the house bored.
Why not play with your balls? Our sponsor today, Manscaped, is here to make sure your balls are smooth while you or your partner are playing with them. Manscaped promotes clean hygiene when it comes to shaving your balls thanks to their Lawnmower 3.0. So a little side note, have you ever cut your balls while shaving them? I have, and that is painful. I would not ever do that again, and I would never shave my balls if it wasn't for Manscaped, because once I started using Manscaped, I no longer had to worry about the bleeding anymore. Also, for any new subscribers, you end up getting replacement blades refilled for your Lawnmower 3.0 trimmer delivered to your door every 3 months, making sure your trimmer always stays fresh and clean. And for a limited time, subscribers get not only 1, but 2 free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag, which is a $39 value, and the high-patented, high-performance, anti-chafing Manscaped Boxer Briefs. This is the perfect package for your perfect package. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code SPORTSWITHAZ at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at Manscaped. And use the code SPORTS. Make playing with your balls the best part of your day. Thanks, Manscaped.
Need to spice up your website? Grab some attention on your Facebook page? Need an intro, outro for your YouTube channel? KM Voice will do it all. Pump up your profits and add some video advertising on your channel. Add some fire to your marketing campaign. Do you want to advertise on the radio and want a professional to handle your audio? Well, guess what? We do that too. From writing the script to producing the finished product, we take the pain out of advertising. Need to add voice to your company's training video? Yep, leave it to us. Send us a message on Facebook at KM Voice or give us a call at 440-213-2860. That's 440-213-2860. Production doesn't have to be a hassle. We give you the best because you deserve the best. Send us a message or call now.
Alrighty, so we'll just give you an introduction back to the show, and then we'll just go from there, alright? Alright. Welcome back to the We Like Sports podcast once again. Right now we're with Keith and Riggs and Peyton. Austin stepped out for a minute, but for the time being, we are joined by Ricky Padilla. This man,
is a legend.
Yeah, you guys might have remembered him. We brought him up last week for pretty much a stint he did on Mother's Day once, and that stint is stealing the Padres they changed their Twitter name to the Madres. So, Ricky, tell us a little bit more about that whole entire situation, as well as a little bit about yourself too.
Yeah, it's kind of weird talking about it like a year later, but that was a fun time in my life, man. Like just for 4 hours there, I had way too much power in my hands.
I believe it.
Yeah, so I woke up early, like 7 a.m. on a Sunday in Grand Rapids. That's where I go to school, and I think the Padres changed their handle over from Padres to Madres on Mother's Day, and it was about 4 a.m. back in San Diego. So they were still working out stuff with Twitter. This is what I've all learned now. And so I just must have got on at the right time. And I'm like, no way. Like, I wonder if anybody has the Padres, handle. And then it was just too easy. And so, yeah, for, 4 to 5 hours after that, I was kind of a celebrity.
That's awesome.
So with the whole entire, ordeal of just pretty much jumping at the moment that they ended up switching it, what piqued your curiosity? What was your motive behind it? I mean, outside of all the power, obviously, with their following of thousands and thousands of fans of the Padres, but what was your motive behind it?
Good question.
Dude, nothing at all, honestly. It was just I saw it and I'm like, oh, wouldn't that be funny if they didn't secure it? And then I hit Padres, on the settings, and next thing you know, I was Padres, and I'm like, no way, this can't be real. So then I tweeted something out, right? And then people were, tweeting back to me like they still thought I was a part of the team or something. It was interesting, but I mean, I don't know if you guys looked at some of the past tweets that I tweeted out when I was still under the Padres name, but I kept it pretty PG. But I mean, I was thinking oh man, I could rail on some of the players, or I could, had a lot of options.
That's cool. You use your power for good, though, right?
Yeah, I figured, hey, my name's in the bio, so can't do anything too crazy.
Right. So I gotta ask you a question. I don't know if this is probably gonna be brought up at some point, but what did they do? Who reached out to you? Someone had to reach out to you.
Honestly, it was just the actual Twitter account just DM'd me. And they weren't going to do anything. They just said hey, thank you for giving it back. And then everybody on Twitter and online was just yo, you got to ask for some tickets or get something. So, I was can I have some free tickets? And then they were sure. We'll give you 4 of them. I was sweet.
Wow, so, that's awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. So that's what we have to do now.
Right.
Go ahead.
This is Riggs of the We Like Sports podcast. Question. If you had the opportunity to do this again and you got to pick the team's hashtag of your own, which team would you love to take over their social media for a night or so?
Definitely if it wasn't the Padres again, I'd go with the Dodgers, man. It's just so I could just rail on them, you know what I mean?
We just became best friends.
Yeah, I mean, who likes the Dodgers? Let's be real. So
Dodgers don't like the Dodgers.
They're about as bad
exactly.
as the Astros.
Ooh, yeah. So when you were going through it and stuff, and you actually had it and you were tweeting, what? None of the players started tweeting at you or anything, or nobody it basically after the DM was sent, that was you did the right thing. Obviously, it was just in good fun. You weren't trying to do anything bad. We all know that, but they weren't none of the players were hey, give me back my stuff.
No, not at all.
That's awesome.
I don't think I had any of those interesting interactions at all. Honestly, I did I got like a lot of calls from like radio stations that week, but that was pretty much it.
So, to be honest with you, I mean, I ended up finding out like after, like I saw this past year in 2020, the first meme version of it, because in 2019 I never even noticed it. But like, why do you think that like the traction now, like why do you think like more people ended up possibly getting more traction a year later compared to when it like first happened?
Oh, dude, I have no clue. Absolutely no clue. Because I forgot about it too. I was at work and then I checked my phone and there was tons of notifications last week and I was like, what is going on? Like, what is today? Like, let's click on it. And then, and then people were sending me all this stuff and I was like, oh, that's right. It was like a year ago today, like, Mother's Day. So, I have no clue. Absolutely no clue.
So when you ended up having your base following, obviously, because you probably, and you did from what I saw, like you had a Twitter beforehand because that's how you ended up finding out that they ended up having that at open. But how kind of, I guess, demoralizing was that you had like a huge following, kind of in a way, by having the Padres at, but not having, like you're mistakenly being reached out by San Diego fans. How was the interactions like with San Diego Padres fans compared to like your base following that you had previously, like before you ended up coming up with that idea and just kind of playing an impractical joke?
Yeah, that was actually pretty fun. That was probably the best part about it, was interacting with everybody, because I'm sure you guys have like read or like heard about like Padres Twitter. A lot of people make big deal out of that. Like there's a heavy following on Twitter for Padres fans, and so they all noticed it right away, and they were asking me questions about like what should we like at the time, right? It was like Luis Urias was like not pulled up yet, and he was still sitting in the minors, and like everybody loved that dude, and so they were all asking like, can we pull him up? And I'm like, yeah, like let's do it right now. And then like let's do it Kinsler, right now. Like nobody likes Kinsler, like great guy, you know what I mean, but like just was not producing at all. And people were like, can we DFA him or what? And I said, yeah, we got to DFA him like right now. And that was the best, honestly. And that was all fun. And so I wonder if he saw that.
Oh, he did.
Yeah,
For a fact he did, which makes it even better if you think about it. Like, that is awesome that you had that.
I don't know if you guys even saw this last year, but Kinsler hit like a home run. And when he was like coming across home plate, he just like gave everybody the bird and like flipped everyone off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know what I mean, and that was like 3-4 days after I stole that handle and I made that tweet about him.
You made him do that.
I'm wondering to this day. I kind of like to find out. If
no, you did. He was flipping you off, sir.
He's like wherever he's at.
yeah. He didn't care. He was flipping you off. That's an honor. Wear that.
They probably gave him free tickets, man.
Hell yeah.
So with you getting free tickets too, like I'm assuming that hopefully you capitalized on the opportunity. What game did you end up going to? Like what kind of was there any kind of like different experience that you ended up having with like that package of tickets? Like were you kind of treated like a VIP possibly, or like were you just treated like a normal fan?
No, actually like the complete opposite. I tried getting tickets to the Boston game. It was at home, and then they said no. And then I tried getting some other East Coast team because you don't get to see like a lot of like the big name, East Coast team. So tried someone else. They said no again. So I think I settled for somebody in NL West. I forgot who it was, but and then the tickets they gave me, I couldn't even see the right fielder. It's like the one spot in the stadium where you really can't see the whole field. But
they did that on purpose.
They might have. You never know. I actually applied for a job this summer, just like in their like media marketing team. Like that's not what I'm studying, but I was like, why not? Like they might know my name, so I shot my name in there, and no response. Got denied.
Oh man!
Like, let's do a background check. Denied.
I still think to this day though the Indians have the best Twitter. Like I believe the Cleveland Indians Twitter account is savage. So they would have had some fun with you, I bet.
Oh yeah. I like Cleveland sports a lot and keep up with them a little bit.
That's awesome. What do you think about Lindor?
I love Lindor. He's in his last year of his contract this year, right?
Pretty much. If there's no season this year, yeah.
Don't remind me.
Yeah. But you guys had a lot of. I mean, the reason why I'm so like inclined and like keep up with Indians baseball at least, and then like obviously the Browns, but like all those trades that we had this last year. Man, I miss Framil, and I really miss who else we gave you? Like Keimer, and we gave you Hand, and
yeah, you guys gave us everybody.
Yeah,
you're on the farm team.
Yeah, pretty much.
Was it Moss one of them, or I know it was one of the pitchers that San Diego ended up throwing in too.
They might have. I don't think it was Moss though.
No, Moss didn't. Yeah,
it definitely. Who did you guys give to us? Why am I blanking on that?
We gave you probably like a vending machine.
We tried to give you the Dolans, but you wouldn't take them.
Oh yeah, you can take those guys off.
You can have them.
Please.
Take the Dolans.
I'll pack their stuff for them.
I honestly don't think I don't think the Cleveland Indians actually gave you guys anything personally, because it was a 3-team trade, because they ended up shipping Trevor Bauer to the Reds, and I think the Reds ended up sending some prospects or players to San Diego then.
Unless you
that
got
might have
picks.
been it.
You might have got picks. I don't know.
That might have been it. We got screwed over though, because I don't know if you guys been seeing it, but like they're gonna play around with the whole DH in the NL this year.
Yeah.
And I mean, Framil's like, pretty decent DH there, and
yeah, he is.
And he's gone now.
What are you guys gonna do? What's your strategy? Do you have any idea what they're gonna do?
I don't know, man. I'm a big fan of AJ Preller, but yeah, like he's definitely gonna be in the hot seat. I personally like I'll put all my trust in him. He's gonna make it happen. And but I mean, man, some people are just giving him such a hard time. But it's like, who could have predicted that?
Nobody could have.
Right.
Yeah, nobody could have. That was an odd. That was just a fluke. If you want to know the truth, like that was just weird.
Yeah, absolutely.
And our producer actually ended up having me fact checked. It wasn't Scott Moss. It was actually Logan Allen that we got from the Padres.
Oh, okay.
And I know that he was up in like the prospects, like the top 25 too. I want to say he's at least like top 5 or top 10.
I think you guys saw though. You guys already like optioned him down to like AAA.
We optioned him, yeah. We
Yeah.
did. Yep. Yeah, which doesn't make sense. That's why we want to give you the Dolans. Will you take those?
I honestly I liked Logan Allen, but we had just so many like soft throwing lefties that we just had to like dish out somebody.
Absolutely.
Right.
All right, Ricky, now it's time for the hard-hitting question, the MLB-related question. I know many baseball fans just hate this question as a whole. What are your thoughts about the Houston Astros' whole entire sign-stealing, allegations, scandal, pretty much being complete pieces of crap?
Whatever Trevor Bauer says, I'll back that up.
Oh, man, then you hate him as much as we do.
Well, how could you not?
I mean, sign stealing's always been a part of baseball, but they took cheating. They took it to a next level, and they should be punished for it. They should have to have some type of I get. There's no repercussions. Nothing's happening to these people, and that's the problem. So when you have a player like Bauer, who's vocal as hell about it, who has been vocal about the Astros for 3 years now, and he's tired of it. He's tired of them. He's tired of what's going on. He's tired of baseballs looking at cheating in this manner as acceptable. It's not a slap on the wrist. It's not just a trophy you're going for. It's the damn ring. It's a World Series. Come on. It's what you play for. And now they're still eligible for that? Come on.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah.
And the thing, like you said about Trevor Bauer, like when the one part of his comment that really got me, he said, "I would rather face a player on steroids than a cheater."
Yeah.
Like that's
Look,
that says a lot.
Well, a player on steroids isn't going to know what the curveball's coming at. They're not going to know there's going to be a split. There's not going to know there's going to be a two-seamer. There's not going to, you know what I mean? He's just ripped. He's just jacked up. If he gets a hold of it, it's gone. But these people know what's coming. They're banging on trash cans, and that's wrong. You still got to be able to hit the ball. I understand. You still got to be able to have
If you're
that.
playing in the MLB, though, you should have the ability to hit a ball.
You absolutely. Look at Jose Altuve. I mean, he's one of the best hitters in baseball. He's not a power hitter, but he is one of the best. Batting averages don't lie. He's one of the best players.
And shortest.
Yes, absolutely. But he knows. I mean, if he knows the curveball's coming, he's going to wait back on it. I mean, that's just how it is, and that's what happened. It's horrible.
Yeah, absolutely.
There definitely is a huge difference between like stealing a sign at second base and relaying it in. Like that's fair game, but
Right.
Yeah, it was bogus. It was bush league, to say the least.
Well, look what they did to Cleveland. They found cameras in the press boxes, and you know what I mean. Like that, for me as a Cleveland fan, that made me want to go beat up Altuve, and I could step on him. He's a cockroach. You know what I mean? I have no respect for players like that. The game is already suffering the way it is. Now you add that type of drama into it. It turned away fans. It turned away sports. It was asinine. It was bad, and there was no repercussions from it. Nothing actually happened.
Very selfish too.
Yeah, selfish
really
as
is.
hell. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very touching subject for any Cleveland Indians fan, as you could tell.
Yes.
Well, yeah. I mean, think about it. We haven't won, and they screwed us. I mean, if we're gonna lose, let us lose on our own. We choke on our own. We don't need you to put the spoon in our mouth. You know what I mean? Let us do it on our own. You don't need to bang on a trash can, you cockroach. So I hate them.
To see how you feel about that, I feel the same way about the New York Yankees.
I don't like the Yankees either.
I expected that from the Yankees to be the cheaters. Then the huge, I think of Texas, blue collar, hard working. Then you think of New York City, they'll do whatever it takes. But it just. Don't judge a team or a book by its cover, I guess, right?
Don't judge a guy by his accent either.
Yeah,
Jeez.
what was that? That was like New Jersey. That was like, I don't know what
Well, they're right next to each other, so I guess
they are. Go tell a New Jerseyan that they're part of the Bronx.
No.
You get cut.
No.
They go walk the dog on your face. It's not going to be good.
All right, Ricky. So, obviously, in your plans, though, I'm assuming it's not to just be a backup San Diego Padres account. For your future, what are your goals for the future, obviously? I mean, you did mention that you're trying to get into the marketing department somehow, some way, hopefully, but not looking too good. But what is your goals for the future, though?
Yeah, I'm getting my degree from Calvin University in accounting and information systems. And I'm going to stay there a fifth year, so I'm going to go into my senior year this next fall, stay for 2 more years, get my master's in accounting.
Wow.
And then, which is sweet because I can use that extra year of eligibility for baseball that I just lost this spring.
Yeah.
So, that's the close outlook. And then looking out, I'm going to go into auditing for the future.
Awesome. Let's talk about that really quick, though. I mean, you mentioned the fact about losing out on a year during spring this year with the whole entire pandemic of the coronavirus. I mean, obviously, you could have ended up playing, I'm assuming, what would have been your senior year, just not having it whatsoever if you ended up not having that extra year. How was that impacting not only you, but, your teammates, too? Because I'm pretty sure you guys are always just bantering back and forth throughout this whole entire situation.
Yeah, it would have been my junior year. And
okay.
It was so weird just to, build up this whole time and get mentally prepared for a full season. And then we literally had 3 games, 1 3-game series, actually against a team from Ohio. And that was it. And then it was cut off. And so people were pretty mad, right off the bat. And I was just worried, oh man, that's it. I'm not going to get the year back. And then when they said all right, you can, have this year back, it was kind of bittersweet because it's well, we just lost 4 of our bullpen guys and that was a waste and they're not coming back. But, I mean, everybody had their own opinions, but, in the end, life goes on,
right.
There could be worse things.
Right. True.
Yes,
Very true.
Absolutely
Definitely.
right.
So, what position do you end up playing in baseball, though? I want to say, just judging off of your profile picture, if I recall correctly, possibly catcher, but I feel like I could be wrong.
I'm going to say second base.
Yeah. What about you, Riggs?
I'll go with center field. Well, how tall are you, though?
I'm 6'1".
Center field.
Damn.
I wish.
I'm still thinking second base or shortstop. You got to be middle infield.
I when I was younger, I was more thinned out and then middle infield. But now for Calvin, I play third, and then I'm the third game of the series catcher. So
there we go. I was kind of right.
In a roundabout way, don't feed his ego. In a roundabout way, I guess he was right.
All right, guys. Well, it's looking that we're running out of time for this segment, though. So
we
Ricky
recorded it. We have a lot of time left.
So, Ricky, before we end up letting you go, though, obviously, where can our fans end up finding you on social media outside of the @ of Padres?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter. That's where I'm most active, at Ricky Padilla 22. And then Instagram, Ricky Padilla 23.
Can you take over my Twitter?
I would love to.
I will shoot you a private message because I suck at this. You got a whole organization's Twitter. I can't get 5 followers.
That's why I deleted my Twitter. I only had like him and like 3 other people that I knew. That's it.
Damn. See? Just you take it over for us, and we'll just pretend it didn't happen.
And you also have that accounting background too, so you know money. So maybe you could end up giving it for free for once. We were gonna end up having that like partnership though, and I was gonna tell you like, hey, you should end up charging us money. But how would that help us out?
Because if he's good, then it does help us out. I mean, you know how to.
That's true.
You're an accountant. Do you know how to put money in like the Caymans?
So, some people say that accountants know how to count really well. So
I like it.
Help counting, I can do that.
It was cool meeting you, man. I hope we stay in touch. And I
Definitely.
Hope
Yes. We'll have to stay in touch, man. Thanks for joining us once again, taking time out of your day.
Absolutely. Have a good one, guys.
You too, man.
Thank you, man.
That was fun.
Yeah,
definitely. Yeah,
I enjoyed that.
I felt like, I haven't been here in a while, but that was cool.
He's a cool guy. Yeah, I know, right?
Definitely. Well, guys, it looks like Austin just sent me a text, though. He's on his way back down. So we'll end up coming back after this on the We Like Sports podcast.
I don't see it.
Dude, it's there. Just look harder.
I see.
I started getting called Jesus.
We're back. We're back on the We Like Sports podcast.
With Peyton, Brandon, Gerald, and Riggs. So, Jesus, how did you end up? I know it got in there. So, you told us about, like, obviously, like, Brandon's here, kind of. He's on second base, leading off a little bit. You're going the wrong way.
I was stealing. I was like, slide.
Why do you slide with your neck?
Because it's just my head. How do you?
And you're out.
Aww.
You're safe in my heart, though.
I'm out.
All right. Anyways, Gerald, you said that you looked like Jesus. You said you looked like the happiest leprechaun. Let's just go into that. We're just having fun at this point. We're just having fun, having a good time. We got guests here.
Yeah, dude, Shaun White.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, Shaun White. When I was at the beginning of this process, Ed Sheeran didn't like that one so much. It was strictly off looks, and Ed can sing like a motherfucker, but I'm like, I don't want to look like Ed. Like
Shaun White, though, that's the wow.
Dude, best Halloween costume ever. Throw goggles on, I'm set.
Wow.
All right.
Can I ask him a question?
Yeah, go for it.
What is it like not having a soul?
Oh man, it's the best.
I mean, like, I just had to wonder.
You can only feel things when you want to. Whoa!
We could hear.
Oh my god!
I thought you had something to ask because he said I didn't have a soul. I was like, oh shit.
So.
I didn't hear.
Sorry, we had this conversation on the way out. I wanted to pray for him. Not now.
Amen.
You got it in. Good job, buddy. That's right. My arms come out of nowhere too.
Anyways, Gerald, obviously with your hair and Riggs' background, Riggs was a skater. You had to be a skater, dude, right?
I've actually become one in the past few months. Like, didn't really do it much growing up, but bought a board and started hitting the skate parks, falling a lot, but, I'm having fun, dude.
Nice. I used to skateboard from age 11 till 18 and a half, 19. And the last time I was on a skateboard was about a few years ago at Garfield Park. I had a skateboard in my friend's truck.
Yeah.
I ended up dropping in, and I started pumping up the ramps and everything, bending my knees, and I was out of breath in 20 seconds. And I'm like, man, I used to do this every day in my teenage years. Like, this is ridiculous. Like,
I almost took the shot, and I'm not going to go that far, but my old roommate used to skateboard. He ended up tearing something in his leg, and then his life went downhill from there. Kind of similar to your situation, but we'll get into that off air.
When I lost my body.
He used to be on the podcast and just didn't. Downhill.
I said the F word one too many times.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's my favorite word. Like,
honestly, like, let me try this. Like, just chop the air.
I didn't feel anything.
I know you did. It's because it just hit the screen.
By the way, so we had this conversation beforehand about how you guys, I love the background. Like, I wore green because of my Ninja Turtle tattoo. I literally can't call it, I cannot call it progressive field. It has to be the Jake. It's the Jake to me. It's the Jake to anybody in my age bracket. And if you're not, unless you're part of progressive, don't fucking come around. I mean, don't come around here. God darn it! I am so sorry.
Now we can go into this.
Thank you. Save me.
I remember back in the day where it's like, let's go back to the whole mom and pop things. Cleveland Municipal Stadium, Gunned Arena by the Gunn family. Nowadays, it's like corporate America's like, hey, you want to keep your building and you want to keep this? We have to throw our name on it. Progressive, Target,
Rocket Mortgage.
Rocket Mortgage,
Staples.
Staples.
Do you want to know why that
Like
should piss you off?
What?
Why that should piss you off? So every single one of those are putting money into a business that is registered as a nonprofit. So all that money they get for building that and actually having that, they get to write that off on their taxes.
A tax write-off? Huh, I did not know that.
Oh, I have a master's in nonprofits. I wanted to really change the world at one point. For real, that's like something that pisses me off. Major League Baseball, football, they're all nonprofits. Yeah. Figure that out.
I think they get away with the tax.
So it's because of so it's a combination of things. The way they put it together, like you're gonna have taxes because of the people working there. You're gonna have taxes because of all this other stuff. But it all comes off of our backs. So like the sin tax. Okay, let's just jump into that really quick. Like I have to have a higher tax because of CBD, because of all this other shit. But yeah, alcohol does twice as much damage to your body as anything you can put. A plant. It's a plant. If you want to grow tomatoes, everybody's okay with it. But you want to grow hemp, and they're like, fuck off. Oh, damn it!
I feel more safe behind the wheel of a car, and I've done this being at parties.
I'm sorry.
Drink 1 or 2 beers, and then my roommate, who's had way more, is like, Riggs, drive. Okay, I can do this. When I have beer in my system, I'm a little, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this. I feel like I'm breaking the law. But if my roommate gets too drunk and I'm self-medicating myself, guess what? Me being self-medicated behind the wheel, I'm more cautious. I'm paying more attention. If I've been, and I'm not promoting drunk driving or buzz driving, I've been behind the wheel of a car buzzed or pretty drunk, and I'm focused, I'm tense. I'm just, oh my God, I just want to hurry up and get home. But being on marijuana or CBD, you know, you can't see me. I'm cruising. I had to lean back, but it's, I've even seen. I remember I was watching the news one time, and they were showing over in Denver, Colorado. They said, how can people drive under the influence of marijuana? They made people with their driver's license retake the maneuverability and the road test, and they said, hold up. If I was able to do this when I was 15, 16, it wouldn't have took me 10 or 11 times to,
The fact that you said something about retaking maneuverability, but there's kids out there that during quarantine was like, oh, you're 16, here's your license, guy, you're on the road, have fun. That's literally a thing.
They were just handing it to them, these little... Wow.
That's a real thing. They literally did not have to take a test. They didn't have to take a driving test. They literally went, here you go.
Because you're going through quarantine and it's not your fault.
It's not
that's
fair.
That's just catering to the attitude. Like
exactly. Now they're really going to feel entitled.
Keith.
That's Keith.
Gimme. Like,
I thought Keith scooted off. When are you going to start dropping Nazi bombs on us? Jeez Louise.
Nazi bombs. I like Nazi bombs.
I leave Adolf in the back, It comes out later.
He comes out. He does. So
should I mention when later? Is that like a bedroom scenario or?
We're not like that. I know I come off like that.
Yeah. Are you judging the hair, man?
Yeah. Are you judging the bald or the beard?
Honestly, I got the beard. I don't have. I can't rag you for the beard.
No, I get that.
So
Your hair's running away from your head.
I know my hair's running away from my head.
How old are you?
24.
Okay, so when I was your age, I was already almost back.
Can you hand him this?
Yeah, here, come here. Do this.
Genetics are something else.
Thanks, man.
Even the mutated ones are good too.
Yeah, he's a genetic mutation. Did you know that? He told me that on the drive out here, and I lost my shit. I'm like, what the fuck? What do you mean?
That's how you have red hair.
Guys, I talk like this all day.
I don't know why I'm thinking about Deadpool. You lose an arm, and then it can grow right back.
I lose a soul and get red hair. Like, that's how it works.
See? You had the same reaction I did. I'm like, he said it, and I'm like, I had to stop the car almost. I'm like, mother, if we weren't running late, I would have.
I know this is probably a little bit off topic because
Did this show off topic?
I can see you got the Terminal Tower on you.
Oh yeah, I got all 4 turtles.
Nice. Well, I was talking about the Tower City building. I don't know why that reminded me. Do you remember the intro to the Big Chuck and Little John show where they had the gorilla on top of the Fox 8 building?
Oh, yeah. Gorilla.
Well, yeah. But you're probably too young to remember that. That's what that somehow reminds me of for some odd reason.
So the truth is, I wanted it to be Leo's color right there, his eyes and all that, but it didn't look right in the drawing, and I just was like, put him above it. I know you guys can't see at home. I have Leonardo above Tower City.
He honestly has a blank tattoo. It's a blank canvas. You draw whatever the hell you want.
See, like you can't. My arm disappears right here a little bit. I got Donnie being the Guardian. I got Raph being sports, and Mike is Chef Mike RD because Chef Boyardee's from Parma, Ohio.
Yes, he's buried here.
He is.
Yes, I want to find his grave and like pay respects for real. Like leave a can.
Do you want to?
Wait, hold on.
Full or empty?
Full.
Do you pour out a little bit of the can?
For the homies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's Chef Boy.
Manja.
He's Chef Boy, our homie. You know.
Chef Boy, our homie.
So here's the thing. With Riggs, we were talking about a while back with what should be on the Browns helmet.
Ooh.
And he went on this tangent about the elf, a dog, blah 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 blah. And the last one was Dick Goddard. He was like, put Dick Goddard on that.
Yeah, why not? He's an OG. Or just do a Mount Rushmore. Wayne Dawson, Big Chuck, Lil John, Dick Goddard.
So that would be your...
Wait, there needs to be one more because Big Chuck, Little John is one person.
Nope, it's
Big
not.
Chuck and Little John.
It's Big Chuck and Little John. I know because I've met Little John. He's so cool.
Yeah, he came to my job when I was a waiter.
Store.
Yep,
He owns a jewelry
Ronaldo's.
store.
Hold on a minute. The real tragedy in this is you don't know who Big Chuck and Little
No, I know.
And
They're
you're
in
Polish.
Polish.
You thought they were one person?
No, I'm just saying that should be one conjunctive unit.
Okay, that's what he's saying. All right, so...
I'm not
You
stupid.
yourself, go cook a hamburger.
Obviously, he can't. So... I don't even know him that well, and I'm like, I'm glad I'm going to get McDonald's on the way home.
No, you're not.
I think a McDonald's...
Right back to the beginning.
There we go. Thank you for coming today.
Everything is.
That's called a callback, right? Something.
Oh, yeah, is that what it's called? I don't know. I
don't
just,
know.
like, record.
It's not a clapback.
I don't want the clap.
You don't want it back?
I don't want it back either.
Have you ever seen the Wiggle song before? I've got the clap and I'm giving it to you.
No, but
That's a real thing.
Wait, what?
That's a real thing.
I did not know this. All right, so question. Let's go to the Browns helmet because you were asking about that. Which one did you want on there?
Like, okay, like besides saying Big Chuck and Little John and Dick Goddard, honestly,
You're
You
not
would want
Wow.
Dick on the helmet, though. Honestly,
Absolutely, I would
would-
want a big dick on the helmet.
I would take a dog or the elf. Why not? I just don't like the fact that
I
the
think
Browns,
elf is cool.
we look so generic. We look so plain
Can I ask a
Jane.
question? I want to play with you. This is a sports thing, right? I
Yeah.
love this. So here's the thing. Why does it make us different by having that? Like, we're the only team in all of the NFL history, and that's AFL, NFL, all the way through, that has nothing on their helmet. So go ahead.
I feel like we just have to adapt with the times. It's like, oh, it's tradition. Well, okay. Well, tradition obviously is not getting us anywhere in winning seasons.
Correct.
And all that. Maybe like something on the helmet when they go to grab it from the locker room. I actually feel like I'm playing for something besides an orange and brown and white stripe.
listen, and I'm gonna take this take though. The orange and brown stripe or whatever. That was a hell of a weapon. If Myles Garrett was able to just. Although that was a Steelers helmet, I mean that's a helmet used for that's like a power.
He
like,
was.
this is like
training
an
with us in strong
Avengers
style. So
Myles Garrett was.
yeah, he trains with us a good amount actually.
So you know Stipe, right?
Yeah.
I was just kidding.
Yeah.
That's
No,
awesome.
dude, yeah, he's one of my teammates. You know,
That's kick ass.
most Cleveland guy ever.
I met Stipe. He came to my old job and I shook his hands and I was like, these hands is Punch Lesnar and everything like that. I'm just like, wow. Like it's like I shook hands with a brick.
Yeah.
For real. Like it dead ass. I mean dead serious.
Now, who wanted to shake LeBron's hand?
Yeah, Keith, come back.
Come on, Keith. I'll float over here.
So I'm not gonna get on camera, but here's what happened.
Get closer to the mic.
LeBron James comes to Firelands, and I played basketball, right?
I didn't ask for a story, but I'm so glad we're getting it.
I was so LeBron James comes in, and he comes in, the red carpet rolls down. He's got all the guards with him. The school's there. Firelands is just happy to have him there. All right, Firelands is just happy that he's there. So I get picked to guard this guy. All right, he gets.
Wait,
picked
this was
to
just like a
guard
pickup
me.
game?
No, dude,
No,
I played for
high
high school.
school.
They played fire. I played for Firelands High School. And so
No.
I'm in there, and I was a starter, not to brag, but so I go in and I go to throw my first shot up, and if you've ever been to Firelands High School gym, you know that there's like in Firelands High School gym there's two levels basically. And there's people up top and there's down there, but the level is like super super high. So LeBron James, I go to throw my first shot, I shoot, and the next thing I know, the ball, dude, all I saw was a cloud of darkness and a hand that was the size of my head pound the ball. And I was so scared. Like, I didn't know what happened. It sounded like a gunshot went off, dude. Dead silence in there. And you just hear, poof, and the ball goes up. It went up to the second deck or whatever of our stadium.
That's
and
longer than Travis Hafner's home runs.
Yeah, it is, dude. It just kept going. And, like, the only thing I can think of is like, because, you know he's going to be big. You know he's got all these sports people watching him. You know, because there's scouts there at Fireland. So you're like, okay, maybe they'll look at us too. But the second, like, his hand hit that ball and the shotgun went off, you had no idea. Like, I didn't know what happened. I thought either I died, the ball, I thought I ate the ball, but it just kept going.
You're telling me the ball didn't explode, though?
No, it sounded like it did, but it just kept going, and he acted like it was nothing. Like, he just did it, and that was it. And that's my story.
Is that when you started writing Space Jam 2?
You're right. Actually, after that, I was a baseball player. That's what I played. So basketball was like my secondary sport. But that was the most. And of course, I get to shake his hand after the game. You don't think about it when you're a kid. You're like, this asshole just, literally beat the ball into the ground and it shot up like a rocket. So you're not thinking, oh my God, that's
Red
LeBron
Rocket.
James. You know what I mean? Like, there was no red rocket made from him. But like, there was no, oh my God, that was LeBron James that just did that. You're thinking, oh, what a prick. Like, you know what I mean? Like, clearly I'm this skinny white kid and you are.
So he was being racist?
Oh yeah, dude. Are you telling me that he did it? He did not have to do that. He did it because I was white, and I get it. But I'm just a skinny white kid, and he is, and he really was as good. He was he was good. Watching him play was amazing, and playing against him was something you can never ever forget. It was amazing.
I've had friends that swear to God that Ted Ginn has checked him in a football game when I went to Rhodes, and we played against Glenville. And so, my friend Greg swears to this day he's played against Ted Ginn.
I believe it. It's crazy. And I didn't play very long. You know what I mean? It was just watching him on the court.
You played about as much minutes as Snacks does, right?
Yeah, absolutely, dude. And I didn't score. There was no way I was getting past him. There was no. And it was legit too. There was no way. You weren't, and they blew us out that game too. Like, it was just.
What year were you? Were you a senior?
05. No, I was a junior.
You were a junior. Was he a senior?
04.
Oh, yeah, he was 04.
Yeah.
So, I think you need to understand that not everybody got blocked by LeBron James.
Right.
So don't hide from that, man. Next time, open with that. Be like, yeah, what's your greatest accomplishment in life? I got blocked by LeBron.
I blocked LeBron playing NBA 2K, and
shut the hell up.
I stopped my character. I was like, oh yeah. My friend's like, that's not the real him, right? I'm like, I know.
Just
but
this isn't the real Mike Clevenger, but he's pretty damn close.
I'm right there.
All right, guys. We got about 15 more minutes left. You guys want to talk sports at all?
Have we not talked sports?
No, just more sports. What kind of sports do you guys like? Besides MMA.
Yeah.
Go.
Love football.
Yeah?
I'm actually a Bengals fan, so Joe Burrow.
Aren't you from down south though?
Yeah.
That's actually recent.
I grew up 40 minutes from him. I competed against Athens High School.
Did people call you Andy Dalton growing up?
Yes, when I had to. So, me and my buddy, I've had short hair most of my life.
I can't
this
see
is
it.
New. Yeah,
I can't see it.
Well, I'll show you. I look weird, with it, like
You're talking about the hair, right?
Just so different. Yeah. I
show
just
me your
look
hair.
So different.
Okay.
But I'm walking through Cleveland after that. I think it was a 13-6 Browns win. Me and my buddy are. He's a Browns fan. I'm a Bengals fan. Weird. I'm walking down Cleveland, and my all I hear is "Hey Andy, yeah, that's Andy Dalton."
No, that's you.
That's you.
I feel like I can hire you for a job.
Yeah.
You can't hire him with long hair?
I will. But
hey, I got a degree and I've done some cool shit in my day. So,
It looks like.
All right.
I moved out to Oklahoma City to work for a startup, valued at $100 million.
Nice.
So let me ask you this.
Let's talk about your wrestling. Let's talk about some sponsorships.
Well, let me ask you
hold on.
about how old are you?
I'm 25.
You're older than me. My life is screwed.
That's because you have no motivation. You sleep till freaking 2.
Shut up, Keith. You sleep until 3.
I own 2 businesses. Good
Air
luck.
5. Boom.
The We Get Personal podcast on YouTube.
He threw out my divorce like it was a card. He was like, "Oh, here's a divorce card. Get a job, asshole."
I have one.
No, you don't.
Once a week.
Every Wednesday on Facebook Live from 7:30 to 9:30.
Dude, just know that every second that passes is gone, man. Dude, that's why I've been able to like do so much, because that's how I've lived my life. I learned that very early. I was like, this moment counts right now, so I try to make something happen in this moment every single time, and that's what allowed me to have all these experiences. He texted me like 2 hours or like 3 hours ago and was like, "Hey man, like you wanna do like a sports podcast?" Yeah.
I get right.
Really, 2 or 3 hours ago, he's like, "I'm gonna." Yesterday, he's like, "I'm gonna bring my dude with me."
Yeah.
I knew. I said I have weed, and you want to be on a sports podcast. He's like, "Well, other than the weed,
what?"
Because I thought you were saying no to weed right now.
No, right.
Oh, okay, yeah. So he was all in, but like,
let you know. Hold on a minute. Sorry.
No.
Me and your girlfriend are now BFFs.
What'd she say?
She supports me telling you to get your job.
Oh.
Well, of course his girlfriend's gonna, go agree with that and stuff like that. Hi, Kayla.
Bye, Kayla.
Back to the real podcast.
Back to the important things. I'm kidding. I'm not being mean. I love you.
Smart.
Now we're getting divorced.
Dinner won't be ready.
We weren't even married yet.
How long were you married?
7 years.
Have you? So really quick, hold on. PTSD podcast. You're gonna have to interview him, because that LeBron thing. You get him through that, make him a champion at the
We've
end.
gotten through that.
Oh, you've done it already?
Look, he put it behind him, and then you guys brought it back to the front.
No.
He's gonna need CBD from you now.
And therapy from your podcast. So really quick, I want, like you said, he's 25.
Yeah.
What am I doing? What am I doing in my life was the joke you made.
Yeah.
Thing is, I'm 37, and he literally, we text each other, and being depressed and bipolar and stuff like that, I just whatever, he'll tell me all the time. I'll be like, no, dude, try this, and he's always uplifting. I've never met another person that tries like I like to be that light, but I know where my darkness is, and that's why I have it. He is like a light to me every single time I meet him. That's the first segment I did without saying the F word.
I'm so proud of you.
F yeah.
But I also want to mention the fact, though, like, obviously, like, this is the start of, like, a partnership between, like, the Light Cafe CBD and, like, the Age Podcast. And, like, you guys are good dudes, and we obviously need to have you guys around more often because, like, literally, like, our podcast is, like, relaxed, fun, but, like, we talked, probably, like, 25 minutes sports, and the rest was just off the rails and weed and whatever else. You being a ginger without any soul.
Yeah. Nope.
I had to ask.
None for me.
I know people. So, like, all right, here. I asked the questions nobody wants to ask. You know why? I had a transgender on the H the other day, and I asked first question out the box. I'm like, do you want to get your penis cut off? First question out the box, because everybody's going to want to know that. Why?
That would be out the box.
Why is anybody cutting a penis off?
Because they're transgender. Oh. I asked if they were going to go through the surgery, are they going to get the boobs, all of that. Why? Because I wanted them to have a voice. And it was a great podcast. Like, we had a lot of fun. It was off the rails. At the end, we danced with Lizzo. I love that he's just smiling into the camera right now. Yeah.
Well, I'm reading these comments.
I know. I started a freaking movement.
Yeah, you did.
Are they yelling at him?
Hashtag get a job.
You got a movement from my mom and my girlfriend.
Hey, that's all. That's
a lot of power.
Right. Hell has no fury. Like what?
I'm about to put my hair up. Bro.
Yeah.
Let me borrow some of that.
I'm gonna disappear. I'm not going to be there for that.
Give me the green shirt.
Kayla, thank you.
Caleb, yeah.
Listen.
Caleb's gonna be calling me. Hashtag Peyton get a job. Don't sleep till 2.
KM voice.
Don't show up.
I do show up.
Barely. Well, okay, yeah, sometimes you do.
But you don't cook hamburgers very well.
What's that have to do with the job?
You can't work at McDonald's.
I don't want to work at McDonald's because I don't want to go in the fast food industry. I can't cook. I can't serve people.
Goddamn right.
So you
put his hair up.
Yeah, bro. It was getting different in here, man.
Right, yeah. When mom and girlfriend teams up, it's like, oh, man.
Man, I just got my hair cut. Otherwise, I put it in the main bun.
The real business is when the hair goes up.
So when you fight, is your hair up or down?
Cornrows. Gotta have them in the rows. You
no
guys
shit.
See? Pretty gnarly, dude.
Can you add pictures to like the podcast?
Yeah.
Wait.
Go to my Instagram. Go to my Instagram.
Show them the one that's that one, buddy. Your newest one. Your new model pose.
At my sponsor, Core Cryo, out of Brecksville. best cryotherapy place around. They took a picture
That's
of me
what
today,
LeBron does.
and it kind of accidentally turned
No
into
weird
like an
stuff.
underwear
You're in
pic.
good shape.
I am.
He's looking at your junk when he says that.
Right, my voice cracked. I'm like, I hope I'm not getting judged.
I look like a regular skinny dude, don't I? Like,
Yeah,
don't I
pretty
look like
much.
a regular, like...
I mean, you got muscle.
Yeah, but I feel like with clothes on, I don't like...
You look
like
skinny.
I look just like a... Boy can barely bag, bro.
What did they say?
You better end this podcast right now.
No, because I might just stall 'cause she works tomorrow. So like I might just stall. This is a 24-hour podcast, guys. Want to stay up?
What is she?
Can I go spin fire first?
Clean at
I got a
Planet
joint
Fitness.
for whoever's interested.
Shut up.
What does she do tomorrow? You said she got to do what?
Work.
What's that?
I don't know. You don't.
This is a great episode of We Like Sports Podcast, everybody.
Man, why is everybody ragging on me?
In all seriousness, well, dude, you lost your man card by burning every single burger I put on the grill.
Doesn't mean everybody could burn my life. That's family. Holy shit.
No, in all seriousness, you don't pay.
Good answer.
Good
answer.
Peyton works hard. When he's here, he does the editing of things, of such stuff. And
I will admit, he stalked me pretty good just to get on this podcast. Honestly, I forgot about him.
Relentless.
Yeah.
I was on the way to Sandusky, the radio station, which is a job.
Because Peyton Manning, I was like, yeah, and then you're like, no, it's not.
Boom. Where's the air horns? Thank you.
I got you, buddy.
Man, so like the cornrows, like, is that an intimidation factor?
No, I just need the shit out of my eyes.
That's
like
fair.
I have it like this when I'm training, and anytime it comes out my eyes, it's like it's very bothersome.
What song do you come out to?
DJ Drama, We Must Be Heard.
Okay.
That shit, I don't know. I listen to it in my fight camps. Something like it like gets me ready, but like I am more calm than anything because like I think I've heard it so many times. It's like another day, and I'm like I'm just gonna go do what I love, you know.
I can't remember what UFC fight I was watching, but this was years ago. One of the fighters came out to KRS-One, step into. I was like, oh, dun, 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 dun.
Some
I'm like,
guys
okay.
come out to like some like kind of like different shit. Like there was a fight this past weekend. What did he come out to like
for UFC or?
Yeah. It was he came out to like a real upbeat like peaceful song. Like it's like everyone's kind of got their own taste, you know.
If my opponent comes out the Achy Breaky Heart by Billy Ray Cyrus, I think I lost. Is that really your theme song?
No, it's not. I got my next one.
I got my next.
I'm in the ring and don't. What? Like my mind's out
You're
of
like
it
doing
now.
a fucking dance or whatever.
You know what you're gonna do? You're gonna be like, your mind's gonna be out of it because this whole entire podcast is about your mental. It's about your mind, right? This is the way we're closing it because I'm a genius.
I saw that. Way to go, Peyton.
Thank you.
You went two hands. It scared me.
I pulled back. I was hoping you were gonna pull back too.
Anyways, it's about your mental at the end of the day. But like you take your mind out of it, and then you're gonna get knocked the F out in the first round.
True.
I'm still the only one that hasn't sweared when we implemented that rule. I'm the goodest boy.
So I think.
Force speech.
Yeah.
Yeah, goodest. Right?
Yeah, goodest.
Thank you, Cleveland
You did the
Public.
goodest podcast.
Go on.
It's the first time he got a compliment tonight, it sounds like, so I went with it, guys. I'm sorry.
Oh, I've complimented him on a lot of things.
Yeah,
You
not my
did, and you
cooking.
admitted you feed him. I remember that, because I was like, I didn't eat.
He's a very good sound editor.
He is.
Very, very good.
See, we're going to end on a positive note. Your mental health is getting better.
Thanks, man. You can come talk on the Destructive Behavior podcast next week.
No, we want to be on a good.
Cue the death metal, like.
That's not my check. I think they're
Pay for him, asshole.
Jesus
That's good
Christ.
advertising.
Anyways, guys, while we end up wrapping up, though, and we're actually wrapping up this time. We're not bringing you back for the next segment. And it's done. It's over with. You're gonna end up doing something with fire outside. You said.
Yeah, I'm going to spin fire. I have a dragon staff. Do you know what that is?
I know like a D's Nuts joke, like dragons.
Well, while he spits fire, tune in to some of our Facebook Lives if you have us, and we can show you guys that We Like Sports Podcast, technically after dark.
Yeah, eventually. I mean, we're gonna end up trying to get another show in for like an hour sometime coming soon, 2 times a week. So, Gerald, if you've seen like the bottom left-hand corner by you, just somewhere, like it's just like a button, like it's just like an imaginary button. Yeah, he's kind of got it. It's like it's right here. See? It's
right.
Boop, subscribe. That's it. Hit that button. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube. The We Like Sports Podcast. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, We Like Sports Podcast. Twitter, Instagram is at We Like Sports PC. Also, 9 a.m. tomorrow morning will be up on YouTube, too. So if you missed the live edition, check us out then. The unedited version, too, because I ain't doing that shit.
Oh, Mr. the Goodest. I've never cussed.
I had to fit that in there. It was right. It was the right time.
It was.
And then 9 a.m. tomorrow morning on all podcast formats, Google Voice. That's not it. Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, and Anchor. And we'll see you next week. Brandon, where'd you go?
Dude, did you just? What did you just subscribe to the people? Because you pointed right here, and I'm like,
You went right for his Pepe, and I was not understanding where we were subscribing.
After Dark, right?
Oh yeah. Oh, and now we go to After Dark.
No.
All right, that's it. Before we get canceled, see you next week.
Sorry, it just happened.